Life does suck. It really does. It's hard. Life is hard. But in the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, however long it takes me to dispel my message today, I'm going to tell you that you don't need to suck. Let life suck, but you can rise above. You can become stronger, more resilient, and a more content, happier person as a result. But yes, life does suck. There's no getting away from that fact. As you get older in life, the one thing you have to be prepared for is that those around you, your nearest and dearest, are starting to die. People will die. Your loved ones will leave you. They'll depart. The more elderly family that you have, you tend to go to a lot more funerals than you do weddings when you get into your 50s and 60s. And it's a sad but inevitable part of life. And it can hurt. When you lose people in this life, the grieving process can be pretty traumatic. We all go through it. I'm going to go through it. You might be going through it now. But it's not just elderly people who pass away. People who pass away relatively young through all manner of things. Cancer being primarily the number one aggravator there. And we all know somebody who's been through a cancer journey. We all know people who are going through it now. So life is unfair and life does suck. There's no rhyme or reason. Criminals win the national lottery and spend millions on an extravagant lifestyle. People and angels with a heart of gold contract cancer and die early. There's no rhyme or reason to this life. And once you start beginning to understand that, you can then begin to put steps in place to alleviate the darkness and to alleviate the negative feelings that you can have. So yes, this is a very divisive subject today. Life does suck, but with the right mental fortitude and attitude for your daily life, you can change your whole outlook. You know, I used to think offering out life advice was a bit of an idiot's game, mainly because whenever I've shared anything on YouTube, from what I've learned in my life, someone would have a pop at me. Somebody would chime in with, what makes you the expert? Nothing. Apart from the fact that I'm 50, 51, I've been around a bit. I've published a few books. I've done public speaking. I've lived through triumphs. I've lived through many tantrums, many disasters. And I was once even swore at by the Duke of Edinburgh, nonetheless. True story. So yes, I do think I've got a few things to talk about. And if you're watching this, chances are, maybe you're ready to hear what I want to say. And if that's you, thank you very much. Welcome to my channel, by the way. So today, to help me put together this video, I'm using nothing more than just my iPhone with my external microphone and this TikTok tripod that literally, honestly, cost me about £14 on TikTok. And it is amazing. It packs down to the size of an old police truncheon, mind you, carrying it around. I might have to be careful and think, in case people think I'm carrying an offensive weapon. Here, you'll see exactly what I mean, look. There we go. Have a bit of that. Now, I've tried to come out and do this video over the past several days and failed every single time. I just wasn't feeling it. I couldn't get into the vibe of saying what I wanted to say and for it to come out the way I wanted it to come out. But today, the weather's improved dramatically. We're up to 16, 17 degrees here. The wind has gone. It just feels ideal to come out and to finally get this off my chest. My message about life sucking and about how you can overcome that and you can rise above and try and become the best version you can and live the best life you can. So let's go. However, that's one thing I am going to have to put up with today is the green flies. They're absolutely everywhere. If you're in the UK right now and over the past week, have you noticed swarms of black flies, green flies? Seem to be a lot more prominent than I can ever remember. I mean, I know that they're useful and we need them for the ecosystem. Birds need them, don't they, to thrive and survive. So I know that they're a crucial part of the ecosystem, but they're still fucking annoying. They still suck, like life. Now, life can feel brutal, like you're stuck in a storm with no shelter. On the complete opposite today, obviously. But while everybody else seems to be basking in the sun. Now, if you've ever felt like you're barely holding it together. Today's video is directly for you. Now, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Life is hard, but there's something you need to hear today, something real, because even when everything feels pointless, there is a reason to keep going. So stay with me for the next 10 or 12 minutes, because what I'm about to share might just be the reminder that you didn't know you needed. So don't be thinking about quitting. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, not yet, not ever. Life sucks. I know it's not what those motivational posters say, and it's not what influencers on Instagram with their six-packs preaching at you what you should be eating and drinking. But for the rest of us who've lived, lost, got back up, been knocked flat again, life can feel brutally hard. Now, this isn't a moan, and this is not me looking for sympathy today. It's me being real with you, because I know someone's watching this today and they're literally hanging on by a thread. Someone's telling themselves, I can't do this anymore. And if that's you, then I want to speak to you directly. So while we walk on here, let me tell you a story. So there's a friend of mine. Now, he retired at 47. In work, he built multi-million pound companies. That's what he did. He was the kind of guy, or he is the kind of guy, he's still around, that you'd think had everything, had it all sussed and worked out. Here's the thing, and this is how he tells it. Burnout literally came at him like a freight train. And one day he's making boardroom decisions, and the next, well, he couldn't even open a letter. And answering a phone call, man, I mean, he said that was like climbing Everest. He ended up in a 12-year toxic relationship after that. The kind that doesn't just hurt, it erodes your soul. Do you know the kind I mean? I guess we've all been in a relationship like that. Slowly, quietly, until one day you wake up and you don't even recognize yourself. Now it's 4 years on. The relationship's over, but he's still searching for his purpose. He's still looking for that spark in life. You see, it doesn't matter who you are or what you've achieved. Life can still break you, but the fact that you're still here, still breathing, still looking for the meaning, that's what matters. Now, I'm going to say something that might offend your inner pessimist here. Life is hard, doesn't mean hopeless. Life is hard, but it's also beautiful, and it's ridiculous, and it's, quite frankly, messy. All at the same time. There's no rule that says you get a free pass just because you've suffered enough. And I know that absolutely sucks, but it also means every day that you wake up, it's just another chance to rewrite this story that's playing out in your head. Here's another story, this time about me. There was a time when I couldn't even look in the mirror without wincing. A time when I felt like a failure. Despite everything I'd done in my life, I'd had days in the past where getting out of bed, just that simple act felt like an achievement. I was surrounded by people, yet I still felt completely alone. Here I am. I'm talking to you today because I made a decision that I wasn't going to quit. Not on life, not on the people who cared for me, and not on myself. Now let me ask you something else. Have you ever compared your life, your behind the scenes, with somebody else's life that they put out on social media? Sure you have, we all do it. You scroll Instagram and think, look at them, happy, rich, sculpted jawline, drinking espresso in Santorini. But what you don't see are the panic attacks that that person might be having at 3 a.m. The broken marriage, the debt, the trauma. We all carry something. Even the strongest looking people have cracks. Some just wear better makeup at the end of the day. So what do you do when life knocks you down? What you should be doing is getting back up. You get back up even if you do it slowly, even if you have to crawl at first, even if you don't feel like it, you get back up. Because here's the truth, your story isn't over. Not while you've got breath in your lungs and even a flicker of fight left in you. Yes, life sucks, but you don't have to. Start writing some new chapters in your life. But here's the key, and this is probably the most important message of my entire conversation today, and it's something I wish that somebody had told me. You've got to change the story that you're telling yourself. If every morning starts with, my life sucks, then guess what? Your brain will find all day long evidence to prove you right. But if you start with something different, even something tiny like, today I'll keep going, then your brain starts scanning for reasons to believe that instead. It's not fake positivity, it's survival, it's a life strategy. You don't have to lie to yourself, just soften the narrative that's playing out in your head. So when I was at my most low, that was probably 2019, my annus horribilis, I once put a post-it note on my bathroom mirror that just simply said, keep going. It wasn't profound and it didn't fix everything. But on the mornings when I felt like vanishing back underneath my duvet, that note reminded me of something really simple in life. Motion beats misery. Not motivation, motion. Just move, do one thing, drink water, take a walk, open the post. That's how the climb back to the top starts, one handhold at a time. So if you've made it this far into the video, I need you to know something, and that is that you are not alone. Whatever hell you're walking through, it will pass. And no, I can't tell you when, but I can tell you that quitting guarantees only one thing: it never gets better. So don't quit. Don't let the story end here. Don't hand over your plan. Don't hand over your pen to the past. You still have chapters left to write. Start writing them. Live the life you want to live, not the life you feel as though you're forced to live. There's a saying that I use an awful lot in this life, and it's this: live the life you love the life you live. So what does that mean? Live the life you love. No matter how you're living your life, try and embrace it, try and harness it, try and go with the journey, go with the story that is your life. And if you can't live the life you want to live, try and love the life you have. It's a simple message, but it's so powerful, profound, and so true. So life is hard, but then so are you. And even if all you've done today is you woke up and you've been breathing, that's enough sometimes. You've showed up. And sometimes showing up is enough to change everything. So keep going. I know, because I've been there. I've been in the lowest depths of despair, and I managed to claw my way one handhold at a time back to a life where I was content, I was happy, and I was thriving, not just surviving. Now, I'm going to finish with a message today that's probably going to hit hard, but it's one that you need to hear. Nobody is coming to save you. What I wish I knew and accepted earlier in my life was that nobody is coming. No teacher, no mentor, no boss, no partner. You are the hero of your own story. Don't be the sidekick. It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. Is a quote from Batman. I think it's Batman Begins. And that doesn't mean you're alone. It means you have more power than you think. Take responsibility, not in a heavy, guilt-ridden way, but in a freeing way. Because when you own the mess that is your life, you also own the map. It's time to start choosing the correct destination through your life. I think one of the biggest struggles people face in life is trying to live up to other people's expectations. We often get caught up in trying to please everybody else, and in doing so, we forget to listen to our own inner voice. I've been there far too many times, trying to fit into a certain mold, thinking that's what would make me happy. But the truth is, that's a recipe for disaster. When we prioritise others' opinions over our own desires, we can end up feeling lost and totally unfulfilled in this life. Another common misconception is that success is a destination. We often think that once we achieve a certain goal or milestone, we'll finally be happy and content. But the reality is, success is a journey, not a destination. That's why my book was called Everest, It's Not About the Summit, because it wasn't. There's always going to be another challenge, another hurdle to overcome. And if we're not careful, we can get caught up in the pursuit of perfection, and we will forget to enjoy the process. Look, I'm not saying that I've got my life figured out, because I haven't. If I did, I wouldn't still be searching on Google how to get out of group WhatsApp chats without offending anybody. So if this chat has helped you today, then maybe you're a few steps ahead of where I was at one stage in my life. And that's what this channel is all about, helping you walk forward, even if you've got crap all over your boots and you have no idea what the weather's going to do or what direction you're going to take. Look, life might suck sometimes, but it doesn't have to define you. Trust me, I've failed more times than I care to admit. Big failures, small failures, embarrassing failures. If anyone should think this life truly sucks, it's me. But here I am, still standing, still surviving, and dare I say it, thriving. As the poet Samuel Beckett once said, ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about what you do after it. So take a breath, take a step, and take back your life, because if I can, so can you. And remember, keep wondering and keep wandering. I'll see you on my next video.